Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Wednesdays in Wiedemann, a division of the Bloomfield Organ Series, which is celebrating its 25th anniversary season. I have some competition from the rain. I think you can hear it on the roof. When I practice in here, I often hear the rain when it's very heavy, but maybe the organ will be a little bit louder from time to time. Tonight's program is a celebration of early French organ music with André Raison and Couperin, Bach, who's a universal quantity composer in all this, and late 19th century, early 20th century French. The first piece is the offerte du cinquième ton, that means the offertory on the fifth tone, which is in C major, le Vive-le-Roy des Parisiens, pour Louis XIV à son entrée à l'Hôtel de Ville le 30e de janvier 1687. And all that means is it's the offertory for the celebratory mass. The long live the king, although it said Vive-le-Roy, can't say long live, I guess you can, long live the king, of the Parisians who were welcoming Louis XIV outside in celebration of his cure from a severe health condition. It begins with a French overture style rhythm, ta-tan, ta-tan, ta-ta, long, short. And it has a lot of color in the early French registration style, using a lot of reeds, cornets, which are made up of mutations that won't say anything to you, but you'll hear it, and the famous Chromorne, trumpets and Chromornes, which we will celebrate in the two next pieces. Lots of color, sense of splendor, because it's the king, and of the picturesque, because the king is going outside of Notre Dame and going to the L'Hôtel de Ville, which at the time was right in front to the left of Notre Dame, coming outside of the cathedral. So he was greeting people on each side. So, l'offerte du cinquième ton, le Vive-le-Roy, which you will hear at the very end, Vive-le-Roy, to be very distinct. Pour Louis XIV, le Vive-le-Roy des Parisiens by André Raison. Now to the next two pieces on the program, which share a lyricism that belie they're composed mostly at the same time, but as you can see, Couperin was a little bit older than Bach. François Couperin was called Le Grand, the Great. He was a member of a great dynasty of French composers and organists, and he was most famously organist of the Church of Saint-Gervais in Paris. Bach knew early French organ music too because he copied a great deal of it. So he knew, he may not have heard the organs because he didn't travel that far, but he knew what it was called for in the registrations. And the common denominator in these two pieces is the Chromorne, the sound, the reed sound, which dates, it's a very, very old instrument, but now it's a part of the organ stops on a pipe organ. And the particularity is that the solo, the theme, is in the tenor. And when you see the title of Couperin's work, Chromorne en taille, en sol mineur, en taille means the waist, so soprano, alto, tenor, bass, that's what that means. The Benedictus, Chromorne en taille, is from Couperin's Solemn Mass for the use of the parishes. He also wrote one for the convents. But this is a commentary on the last part of the Sanctus in Gregorian chant that would have been sung at the Mass, the Benedictus. And then the 18 Leipzig Chorales by Bach. He chose his best, what he considered to be the best of his chorale preludes, and put them into one collection. And this particular one is the second of the three that are devoted to this hymn tune, not the Gregorian chant, but the hymn tune, Allein Gott in der Höhe sei er, and it's Glory to God on high. Bach wrote in Italian at the beginning of the piece for two keyboards and pedal, two manuals, the Cantus Firmus, the theme in the tenor by J.S. Bach. So listen for the same lyricism and the beautiful harmonies. Granted, Bach's is a little bit more joyful, but listen to what is similar, especially the use of the Chromorne in these two lovely pieces, the Benedictus Chromorne en taille by Couperin and the Allein Gott by J.S. Bach. And now to the last piece by Henri Mulet. Henri Mulet's father was the music director at the Basilica of the Sacré-Cœur, Sacred Heart in Paris. And he first studied cello before the organ. That accounts for the fact that he has so many beautiful tenor cello range melodies. He's the composer of the famous Byzantine sketches, which are in honor of the Basilica, and was the organist of the Church of Saint-Philippe du Roule in Paris. After a certain amount of time, he retired from the organ and moved away from Paris to Draguignan, became an insurance agent. But I think he still continued the organ, but he was rather dissatisfied with how the trend in registering and the organ was going, and he didn't particularly like it. In any case, this piece is one of his most famous. It's one of the most joyful imitating of the bells of a carillon, the Carillon Sortie by Henri Mulet.